Get this going here. Hey everybody. Just adjusting my screen brightness here. There we go. Hi everybody. Welcome to the live stream. There we go. We should be live, Swagman. Hopefully you're getting me wherever you are. So, yeah? Good. Just make sure you hit mute there, Dennis, on your computer. Okay, hi everybody. You can't see my keyboard, but you might be able to hear it. Can you see my keyboard here? There we go. I'll place a keyboard for you. There you go. This is a song I wrote for doing some jazz improvisation with my students. I actually did a live stream with this song one time. It's like it's a jazzy version of Hot Cross Buns, believe it or not. Hi, everybody. So this is my keyboard that I have. Let me turn this down a little bit. Hey, folks. So this is the keyboard I have in my music room. This is my music room where I teach my music lessons, and I have my computer here. I write music, and I have this keyboard. Let me turn it so you can see it. So this is my keyboard. I have it plugged into my computer, and I can do lots of fun stuff. I can kind of just do some keyboard playing. I can write music on GarageBand or on Sibelius, and so I have a lot of fun with my little keyboard here. So let's say hello, everybody. To say hi to Dennis. Say hi, Dennis.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
So Dennis is here again on the phone, and he's going to help me make sure I catch more of your questions. So I figured what we do today is I'll tell you a little bit about what I did this week. I had a really busy weekend with band. We had let's see, what did I do this weekend? Saturday. If you are on my Instagram, if you guys are on my Instagram, let me make sure you can see this. So if you follow me on Instagram at Dr. Selfridge, I put a photo up this weekend about our indoor drumline and indoor guard had their first competition this past Saturday. So are any of you involved in your indoor programs? There's indoor drumline, indoor guard, or if you have them, let me turn this off. If you have them at your school, they're really a lot of fun. So we had our first competition on Saturday. I went to that at a local high school. And if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll pop up on my phone here and I'll give you a shout out. So we're going to now do some of your questions here. Let's see. Let me give a couple shout outs here. We have Kamaya. Hi, Kamaya. Tessa McDaniel said that you had your first jazz band festival this weekend. That's awesome. I want to say thanks to Anthony for following me on Instagram. Thanks, Anthony. Tell me what you guys did this weekend. Did you do any stuff with your band this weekend? I saw Tessa had a jazz band festival. Let me know if you had any stuff going on with your band program this weekend. Did you? Loki had band concert over the weekend. Oh, Waffle, is that you that followed me on Instagram? Broblocks, you missed me on Friday. Where were you, Broblocks? On Friday, I went to visit our middle school. I visited our middle school 8th grade band, choir, and orchestra because I was encouraging them to sign up for high school next year. So I saw some of my friends. Dan Castro, Tarpon Strings had a marching band festival at Epcot. That sounds awesome. So you were in Epcot this weekend. Muhammad, happy birthday. Let's see here. Kellen had a band concert on Monday night. Let's see here. Yoshi, happy birthday. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm going to stop my music here, and I'm going to turn up my keyboard. Dennis, can you shoot me a question?
Yes. There's some earlier that had they want to know about low notes on both the clarinet and the tenor sax. How to work better with low notes on clarinet and tenor sax.
Okay. So low notes on clarinet. Here's my clarinet. There's Kamaya. Kamaya had a Grandparents' Day concert. Here's my clarinet. Someone asked me about low notes. Now, playing low notes on the clarinet is, I don't know, it's kind of, in some ways, it's easier than saxophone. So clarinet, the thing with low notes, if you're having trouble with your low notes on clarinet, you need to make sure you're completely covering the holes. A lot of times kids have problems on low notes on clarinet because there's air leaking out somewhere. So make sure you're completely covering the holes. So right down here, you can make sure you're centering your fingertips. And one way you can tell is, check this out. Ready? If I press really hard, can you see the little rings on my fingers? So if you are playing your clarinet and you press really strong, you want to make sure you're getting the full circle indentation of the key, and that tells you that your fingers are completely covering the holes. Now on the saxophone, the tricky thing about low notes is your embouchure. Here's my alto. So let's see. Low notes, you have to make sure you're doing the embouchure correctly, because if you're not, it's going to squeak on you. So I just put my reed on. So if your embouchure is kind of incorrect, maybe your embouchure might be kind of squished like this, and you'll get squeaks in the low end. If you hear that sound, that means you need to fix your embouchure. Say "oh," make your bottom lip over your teeth, and your chin flat. And the notes should pop out. You might have to open up the inside of your mouth just a little bit, like you're saying the sound "oh." Okay. Waffle, Dr. Selfridge, can you teach me how to play crisper tonguing on the trumpet? Well, some things to think about for your tonguing is on trumpet, maybe you want to make sure, it's hard for me to tell without seeing or hearing what you sound like when you play. But one thing to remember is that your tonguing shouldn't be going between your teeth, or like, it shouldn't be real. If you put your tongue kind of between your teeth like that, it's going to sound not as clean as it could. You should be say two, 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 two. And right where your tongue hits, kind of like you're saying the sound two, kind of like the roof of your mouth, and right here. Instead of, that's the sound of your tongue is going. You don't want your tongue to go all the way in between your teeth like that. Say two, 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 and then go. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let's see here. There's a lot of questions coming in today, guys. Claire is asking, my fingers tense and lock in place when I play low notes on the clarinet. How can I prevent that from happening? They get really tense. So what I recommend for that is make sure your hand is in a comfortable but a C-shaped position. Okay, so you make your C. You can imagine like you're holding a really big, super big gulp of soda or something from McDonald's or something. So you got the big cup, and you're going to go all the way around your clarinet, so your fingers have lots of stretch to them. You don't want to kind of clamp down because that just causes stress. So try to relax. Try to just make a big C-shaped finger, and as long as your finger is completely covering the hole, you don't have to press really hard. It just has to completely cover the hole. I hope that helps. Tornado KK, which is better for concert band, wooden or plastic reeds? Regular cane wood reeds are better. Plastic reeds last longer and they're more consistent, but they don't get quite the quality of sound that a cane or a wood reed would get. I recommend wood reed for concert band. Okay. Dennis, you got one for me?
Yeah. How can I fix my breathing technique with the flute?
Breathing technique. So maybe, did you catch who asked that question, Dennis? Okay, no problem. So someone asked about breathing technique on flute. I guess maybe what you're asking is maybe you're running out of air. The thing about flute and breathing, so breathing for every instrument is pretty much the same. You've got to take a huge breath no matter what instrument you play. So whether you're playing the tuba or the piccolo, you really should be taking in a huge amount of breath regardless. So here's my flute. The thing that a lot of kids have problems on flute is sometimes beginners waste too much air. So they'll go like this. And see this big hole in my lips? There's way too much air leaking out. You have to take a deep breath, close your lips, and then the tiniest amount of air, like you're blowing through a teeny tiny stirring straw. You know those little tiny straws that adults use when they're stirring their coffee, stirring straws? It's like this. See that tiny amount of air? So you do this. So instead of too much air, which is bad, keep your lips closed and go. And if you get just the right spot on your aperture blowing onto the flute head joint, you'll get a nice clean sound. You can hold a note for a long time. There is my flute breathing advice. Okay. So EAS cubing. Can reeds be damaged by cold? Not that I know of. I don't think they can be damaged by cold. What you have to worry about with cold is your instrument. You don't, especially if you have a wood instrument, a nice wood clarinet, you can't let it get really cold because big temperature changes will crack. That can cause cracks in a clarinet. MC Windex is playing Altissimo G on Barry sax. Any tips? Yes, the high G fingering that works best for different instruments varies. Where did I put my alto? Anyone see where I put my alto? Oh, here it is. So the high G fingering is pretty much the same on any saxophone. The traditional original fingering is to press your fork key by itself. That one's kind of hard to get out. So first you want to hear what note you're going for. Play the G on the top of your staff, regular high G. So now I know I'm listening for it. So there's my, now I know I want, okay. So what you have to do is play this G and then get your fingering. Right? Now this key right here, that G for my instrument is not super stable. But on this alto, that's the only one I can do. If you have a Barry with a high F sharp key, if you play your high B and press the high F sharp key, which I don't have on this instrument, that pops out a really nice high G. So there you go. I hope that helps. Lucas Mueller asked me, do I recommend synthetic reeds for alto sax? I was just talking about that. Cane is better, but synthetic can be cool, like if you just want consistency, but you're going to get a better tone on on a cane reed. Fly, cartoon. I'm teaching myself how to play alto sax. I'm having trouble tonguing. Any tips? Just what I was talking about on trumpet. The thing to remember about tonguing is your tongue shouldn't be going up and down like ta, 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 and it shouldn't be going like straight into the reed and back. You should be hitting the reed just like you're saying 2, 2, 2. Say that. Say 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And think about this part of your tongue is hitting kind of the roof of your mouth, kind of where your top teeth are. So if you say 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, that part of your tongue is going to hit the reed right about there. Don't try to tongue the reed on the tippity tip. That doesn't work so well. Hit it right here like you're saying 2, 2, 2. So your tongue's going 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, like that. Okay? Practice slow. Then speed up. Like that. Okay? Dennis.
Yeah. Trying to use my head.
Okay.
Tips for beginning self-taught clarinet.
Okay. Tips for beginning self-taught clarinet. If you're just teaching yourself clarinet, spend a lot of time on your band face and spend a lot of time with this. Okay? Mouthpiece, reed, barrel. Band face, you, bottom lip over your teeth, top teeth on top. Make sure this is all firm and you got your teeth on top so the mouthpiece won't wiggle. And you want this sound to match an F sharp on the piano. Do you hear that F sharp? If you're not getting that sound, if it sounds like flabby, like you need to tighten up. Okay? And that's going to get you a really good sound when you put the whole clarinet together. Work on your long notes, mouthpiece, and barrel. Lucky Miner is in Scouts and would like to play Reveille on sax for a campout. Which one's Reveille? Is that da 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 da? Is that Reveille?
Yes.
It is? Okay. Because there's a couple of them. So Reveille, all of those songs, let me show you first on trumpet. All of these songs, yep, Lucky's on there. Good. Okay. All of these bugle calls come from the old days when you were in an army or some sort of large group, and they didn't have any way of communicating across. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have radios. They didn't have anything. So the way they communicated was they used a loud instrument. They used a bugle, and each different song had a meaning. So they'd play, Reveille means wake up, right? And taps means go to sleep. So they would play them on a bugle. A bugle had no valves. So I'm going to put my fingers like this, and I'm going to play the overtone series. So essentially I'm playing like a bugle, no valves. So I told everyone it was time to go to sleep. And then wake up was What does that mean? Remember that one? You ever heard that one before? Who knows what that last one means? So you can play Reveille on a different instrument. You just have to know the different notes. Anil got it. Charge. Exactly right. So Reveille, you can do it in all different keys. I'm doing E, C, E, C, G, and that's the whole song. E, C, E, C, G, E, C, E, C, G. Okay, so I hope that helps. That was kind of a long explanation. But that's a great question. We have folks. Oh, good. We got plenty of time. We got 10 more minutes. So keep shooting me your questions. Hi, Cameron. You're welcome, Lucky Miner. Let me look at this question from Lemire Lerner Sarno. Alto sax. When I use a tuner, Tonal Energy TE Tuner, that's a great app for your phone, I notice that my octave, E, F, G, are always coming up sharp. Is that normal? It is normal for different instruments on your instrument, different notes. Did I say different instruments? Different notes on your instrument to have slightly off tunings. So like, no matter what instrument you play, you have to practice with your tuner and see the different tendencies that your notes on your instrument might have. Certain notes on alto sax are notorious for being sharp, including your upper register. So you'll have to work with your tuner. Tune like tune your concert B flat. Tune your concert A, which is F sharp. And then go up the notes of your instrument. And you might see different notes might be a little bit flat, might be a little bit sharp. You adjust here. In some cases, if it's a really out of tune note, you can actually do some alternate fingerings to help you get that note better in tune. But the answer is yes, it's normal. But if it's a really huge problem, you might want to get your saxophone looked at and see if there's some adjustments a repair person can make. Okay. Let's see. Hi, guys. Here's a good, this looks like a complex question. Geometry Dash Player is asking me, how can I find the accompaniment chords for a melody for band? I'm trying to compose for band, but I have a, oh, so you're going to compose your own music. That's really cool. Okay. So Geometry Dash Player, your question would take a really long answer, but I'm going to try to give you a short answer. Basically, you should get to know how to play piano, and you should learn your basic chords on piano. So C major, F major, B flat major, E flat, A flat. You should learn all your major chords and start to get an idea of how to build chords on the piano. And the thing about instruments in the band is a lot of them are in different keys. You have to learn how to do the transpositions. So if you want to make a B flat major chord, B flat, D, F. Okay, well, the B flat is the bottom note. You want to give that to the tubas and the low instruments, but you have to learn how to transpose it. So the tuba plays a B flat, but the bari sax plays a G. The bass clarinet plays a C. Okay, so you have to learn these transpositions, and it gets a little bit, there's a lot to learn, but my first recommendation is that you start to get to know your way around the piano and basic chords. Okay, that's my really short question, or my basic introductory answer to that question. Okay, Dennis, you see anything coming through that I should address?
Yeah, it's a strange question here, but it says clarinet smells funny. How can I get rid of the smell?
Well, that I don't really know. I mean, I would say you could. Is it like a lot of times that happens with older clarinets? They start to get that sort of musty smell. I don't know if there's a way to get rid of that other than bringing it to a repair shop and asking them for like a deep clean, which might cost some money. Making sure you swab out your clarinet every time you play it. You really aren't supposed to get a clarinet wet because of the pads. So that is a good question. Ask your local music store or your local music repair shop. And if I get a chance, I'll also Google that. I don't know if there's anything you can do, you can apply to a clarinet to make it smell better. But so ask a music repair shop. Anil is asking, hi, Anil, who is the best drummer of all time? I don't know. You guys have favorite drummers? The short answer is there's no such thing necessarily of the best of all time on any instrument, because there's so much of a wide variety of what it means to be good on an instrument. I could give you a list of 5 amazing drummers, like let's see, Max Roach, Buddy Rich, Art Blakey. These are all jazz drummers. Who are some great rock and roll drummers? Dennis, who's a great rock and roll drummer?
Ginger Baker.
Ginger Baker, right. Who did he was with the Rolling Stones, right?
No, he was with Creed.
Oh, Creed? Okay.
Going way back.
Nice. So it depends on what you're asking for. I mean, there are amazing drummers in different styles of music that maybe you don't listen to. So it's there's so much there, so much really cool music to listen to. It's hard to pick one. Penelope Peterson asked me, do I like pugs? Yes, I do. I don't have a dog. I kind of want to get a dog, but the problem is I'm out of the house so much teaching at the high school. So, you know, if you have a dog, you kind of have to be home to take care of the dog. Let's see here. Okay, someone's asking me, who is the best singer in the history of music? Same answer for my other question there. The drummer. There's so many good singers out there. The deepest instrument in mankind, Dat Girl. So I guess a tuba, contrabassoon, they play the lowest notes in the orchestra. Let's see. What Israel is asking me what my favorite instrument is. Okay. My favorite instrument is probably saxophone, because that's what I play the most. But I like all the instruments. I like flute, I like clarinet, I like trumpet, I like piano, I like bass, I like baritone, euphonium. Preston is begging me to play snare drum. All right, Preston, I don't have a snare drum with me. Maybe I'll play snare drum on my next live stream, okay? Just for you. Mohammed Suleiman, what's the lowest note on alto sax? It is a low B flat. Getting back to my person who was asking about writing music for other instruments. It's a low B flat for alto sax, but it's a low D flat on the piano. Somebody baritone saxophone, you really want me to play Giant Steps? I don't have my tenor ready to go. I still remember it. Oh, geez. So I'll probably play it in C major. So Giant Steps is a jazz song that has really crazy chord progression. It goes C major, A flat, and then E major. So I'd have to go, let's C, E flat, A flat, B. There's the beginning of Giant Steps. I got to practice that. You put me on the spot there. All right. How about we do this, folks? We have about 2 minutes left. Can you guys give me Lady Gaga? I'm going to answer that question. Dennis, can you remind me to answer Lady Gaga's question about you're doing a solo and ensemble? Is that what you're doing? NYYSMA. Lady Gaga, is that solo and ensemble? Is that what that is? So can you guys check in? Give me a shout out from where you're watching from. All right. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want to hear where you guys are watching. What part of the country or world? Connor is in Illinois. Tessa is in Indiana. Lucky Miner is in Aston. Hi, Lucky Miner. Whoa. Mohammed is in London. Marcella is in London. Colby is in Arizona. West Palm Beach. Oh, my goodness. I hate my username. I still have it. Is in Glen Mills. Do I know you? I hate my username. Salty Salt is in Pennsylvania. Callie is in Nevada. Tornado is in West Virginia. MC Windex is in Illinois. Lady Gaga is in New York. Broblocks is in Aston. Wow, I got my Aston crew here. Hi, guys. Lerner is in Alaska. Someone's in Antarctica. Yoshi is in Butler. Anil, hi Anil, is in Pennsylvania. Hacker is in Alaska. Lava Productions is in Norway. How are these people living in Antarctica? I don't think that's true. Let's see. Israel is in Arizona. Canada, Colorado. Salty Salt. Yeah, I said your name. I just said it again. Lego Man is in Idaho. And BTS Forever is in Colorado. So Lady Gaga asked me about this thing you have coming up. So Lady Gaga, is this? Did they tell you what you have to practice for this? If it's I don't really know what NYSSMA is. I'm going to.
It's New York State School Music Association.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dennis. I'm going to guess that it's. Let me just tell you about what.
It evaluates student musicians in New York State.
Okay. All right. So it's an audition, right? So what to expect at an audition? Basically, first of all, usually, people, it's normal to be very nervous about auditions, but you should try not to be super nervous, because everyone at an audition, they're probably all music teachers that are there to listen to you, and everyone there wants you to do well, right? They're not there to intimidate you or make you feel like you're going to mess up. They want you to do well. They're rooting for you. Okay. So that's one thing to keep in mind. What you have to do is just, try to be as relaxed as you can, try to be as prepared as you can by preparing the requirements that are laid out for you, whether it's a solo you have to practice or a set of scales. Practice as best you can. And one thing to realize about practicing for an audition is when you practice at home, you're very comfortable because you're in your room, you're in your basement, wherever you're practicing. When you get into an audition, you tend to get a little nervous. So I would say over practice extra, so you're super comfortable with what your fingers need to do. And then what happens is when you're under a pressure situation or you're nervous, your fingers will still move smoothly and you'll do better. So while I don't know the specifics of what your audition is going to be like, that's my advice for getting ready for an audition in general. Okay. Hey, all right, there you go. I hope that helps. So folks, we are at the end of our 32 minutes. Beast Boy is asking me to play America the Beautiful on alto sax. So why don't I do that? Let's see. I have to figure out what key I want to play it in. I'll do it in B flat. That's America the Beautiful in concert B flat. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you all for joining me today. I'll be back next week. Dennis will be back. Thank you, Dennis, for being here.
No problem.
Okay. So my good friend Dennis is here, as always, helping us with your questions. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. I hope you have a great week. Make sure you practice your instrument. You take your instrument home. Don't leave it at school. Take your instrument home every day and practice it, and impress your music teachers at school because you practice at home. So with more of your questions. Okay, guys? So have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oops. There we go. Now bye-bye.